Yo, everyone, how are you doing on this Sunday night? It's good to see you all. Not a great day if you're a 49ers fan out there. 49ers lose, what was it, 28-18 at home in Santa Clara to Kansas City. Not a great game if you're a 49ers fan out there. Where does the team go from here? I have no idea, but they are in some big trouble. Next week against the Dallas Cowboys is a must win. They must win that game. They don't win that game, they are burning it down. They are burning it down, and that is it for the year. They will have occurred too many losses to really do anything. Um, yeah, really horror start to the season. Also losing Brandon Ayuk to a torn ACL. Guy didn't even have a touchdown this year. Paid $30 million just before the season. 30 million a season, more like 100 and something million, and he tore his ACL before he ever got going. It's not going well for the 49ers out there. But this is not a sports channel. This is a true crime channel. So let's do some true crime and take our minds off sports teams losing today or winning. Maybe your team won. Maybe your team does not suck like the 49ers. I think the biggest story out there right now is that one we were talking about yesterday about a guy found dead in he was like camping, and his friend found him, and they were like, oh, he got attacked by a bear, because the crime scene was so violent, so brutal. They thought it was a bear had got him during the night, but it's not a bear. They believe that he was either beaten or killed with a sharp instrument, and they don't know who would be out there at that time of night to get him. There's still no information. It's very odd. We'll talk about that. Laurie says, I'm sure watching Steelers and Jets. Yeah, let's watch the Steelers. Mama Mia says, yay, Eagles. Sure, if the Eagles are going to do anything this year. I don't know if they will. Hey, Elaine, how are you? I hate mornings. Marilyn Landis. Sherry runs late. Gayla. Edget. Diane's here. Mama Mia. Laurie. Who else? STL cards. Moon Shadow, how are you? Natasha's here. Say hello to everyone. All right. I actually want to talk about Abby and Libby for a little bit. I don't do a lot on them. I think there's so many channels that go into all the tiny minutiae about it, and all the court documents, and like, oh my god, is that written in a male's handwriting? And I'm not going to do that, but I do want to talk about the opening few days a little bit, because I'm sure it's a story we've all followed for, I don't know, 5 years. Is it 5 years now? 2017, like 8 years. Has it really been that long since they were murdered? Wow, I would never have guessed. I would never have guessed it's been that long. I still remember the day that the call went out that there was two girls missing in Delphi. I still remember when the original reports came out. The original reports were just that there was two girls missing. They had been dropped off at this, Parkland area, and the call was saying like, hey, they were supposed to meet up with someone. They never they never turned back up, and there's like search teams out searching for them. And I was like, oh my god, there's two girls. Why would they be missing in a parkland? And then it was like the next morning, we finally heard that search teams found their bodies, and then the hunt was on. The hunt was on. Who did this? Who did this horrific crime to these two girls? Um, and then they zeroed in on that house. There was a property nearby, and they zeroed in on that for a little while. I don't know. Can't remember if that went anywhere, but no, they searched it. They got a search warrant. They locked it down. They had a look. And then it was years later, we found out about Keegan Klein. We all thought he might have something to do with it. and then that didn't really go anywhere. That was a bit of a red herring in a way, and then we find out it might be Richard Allen. Guys, hold on a second, my cats, hold on. Sorry, Muffin beating up Rory. So I was trying to save her because Muffin gets a bit aggro. So I didn't want her getting beat up. All right. I will never understand this case. Okay. I've actually followed it from the start. I just don't report a lot on it. Because I don't see the need, but we are going to do a little bit. But like I said, I ain't going to go into all the conspiracy theories on it. I'm just going to talk about what's in this article, and that's it. Just so people keep up to date on it. But they were saying here. Oh wait, is it this one? Sorry guys, it's not that one. Muffin. Hold on, guys. Muffin. They're being really naughty today. They just don't want to play nicely. Rory, just leave him alone. Okay. Oh, it's this one, Indie Star. I found this bit very interesting. This is just a very small snippet from someone who went searching for the girls. That's why I brought up that part of it. So it says here, Delphi's former police chief and two other men who were part of search parties in the hours after Abigail Abby Williams and Liberty Libby Germain, German, went missing, testified Saturday during the second day of Richard Allen's murder trial. And where is it? It's this bit that I found very interesting, right? So they were saying that they worked at a nearby agency and their boss had actually asked them to go and help with the search. Ugh, why does everyone want me at this time? Hold on. Sorry, everyone like knows I come on here every single day at the same time, and at the same time, every single day, everyone wants to call me, message me, email me, including the woman. She knows I'm on here, and she's all like, "Well, my stuff's way more important than your YouTube show, so pay attention to me." I'm like, "I'm on here an hour and a half every day," and she's like, "No, that's not good enough." All right, hopefully she'll go away now. Uh, Eagles beat the horrible Giants. If I'm an Eagles fan, I wouldn't be real excited. No. Muffin wants to be the star. That's him for his life. Yeah, I know. I just want to read this bit and then we're going to move on to I want to go back to the case you spoke about yesterday. Not the sister one, the one that's out in Big Sky, Montana. I want to go back to Montana. It was this bit that I found interesting. Where is it? Just want to bring this up because I don't know if I'd ever heard it described like this. It's freak. Fine, we can't find it. Great work, Ping. Why do you run a true crime show when you can't find the information you want? Um, they're basically saying that when they were asked to go and search, their boss came down. They worked at a nearby workplace, and they were asked to go and search. They were the people who found them, and he says he never got more than 5 feet from their bodies when he notified police. And then he was saying, like, they just look so still. They look like mannequins. And I'm like, that's such an eerie thing to say. I mean, I guess how else would you describe it? It's really yeah, it's really horrible. Here, they say Richard Allen was armed with a gun when he came across the teenage friends near the hiking trail in Delphi, Indiana, on February 2017. Then they say he used power and fear to force them down the hill, the catchphrase everyone knows, before slitting their throats, according to prosecutors in their opening statements on Friday. They say when the girls' bodies were found the next day after they were reported missing, Libby, 14, was naked and covered in blood, while Abby, 13, was clothed in Libby's sweatshirt and jeans, with other clothing dumped in the creek. That I've never understood. I mean, I've heard a few theories of why he did that. None of them I've really liked, and I still think that's extremely bizarre. They're saying here, according to the county prosecutor, Nick McLean told jurors he choked up while describing the scene to the jury of 7 women and 5 men. Very interesting. Jury skewed 7-5. I actually thought they might have put more men on the jury. And you might ask me, why, Ping, would you think they would try to get more men? And I think it's because men sometimes are actually more harsh against other men that commit crimes against, like, children. And I actually was wondering if we would end up with a stacked jury of more men. But actually, it's the reverse. We've ended up with 7 women and 5 men. And that's going to be very interesting, I think. And they say here, the last face the girl saw was Alan's. He said that Alan would later admit to police to walking along the trail that day. I often do that too. And that an unspent bullet found at the scene and confessions he allegedly gave, including to his own wife, would prove he is guilty in the teen's death. The prosecution also plans to call witnesses who they said they saw him at the trail that day. I know that a lot of people have made a big deal out of this bit. They also said here, according to the defense lawyers, this is their opening part of their statement. They're saying that the investigation was muddled and that was messed up from the beginning, including evidence being lost and a turf war between state investigators and the FBI. They said that a strand of hair found on Abby's fingers, evidence that was not made public in the case, is not from Alan or the girls, and that testing should be done to see if it matches one of the girls' relatives. You know, could be a giant possum walk past in the middle of the night, left some hair in her hands. Who knows? But I don't think that. I think there's so much evidence. I saw a video before, like an hour ago, and it said he confessed up to, it's like 60 plus times to different people while in jail, to his wife, to authorities, to other people, random guards and inmates. So is he trying to use his infamy as collateral or like credit or cachet within the prison system? Like, why would you go around admitting, yeah, I'm the guy who killed two like young preteen, not preteen, but two young teenage girls? It's a weird thing to want to admit to. They say here, ultimately, Baldwin said the defense plans to challenge the state's timeline to show that Alan was not on the trail at the same time as the girls, and that there is other evidence indicating that they may have been abducted in another vehicle, then brought back to where their bodies were found. Yes, yes, that's every time I abduct people, that's what I like to do. I like to spend all my time envisioning a plan. I have a plan, and then like I spend weeks, you know, fretting over it, making sure I've got all the details correct. And I'm like, okay, the hardest bit is finding my victims. Then I somehow have to overpower them. All right. Then I have to get them into a vehicle. So then I take them to a different area. I do what I want to do to them, possibly even kill them. And then I have to get them back into the vehicle, drive them all the way back to the park, and then I have to get into the park while there's a search going on, sneak around with 2 bodies, and then hide them. And then somehow get out of the park again, get in my vehicle, and drive away. It's the ultimate plan. I will get away with this forever. I do it all the time. They're saying here, After jurors were selected this week from Allen County, more than 100 miles northeast of Delphi, the trial got underway on Friday in the small community where the girls lived, bringing renewed attention to the winding case. They say he was dressed in a long sleeve button down shirt and khakis and shook his head at times during the prosecution's opening statement. Yeah, I wonder if this has the video I want you guys to see.
With opening statements today in the Delphi double murder case. 52-year-old Richard Allen has pleaded not guilty to the 2017 stabbings of best friends 13-year-old Abby Williams and 14-year-old Libby German. Their bodies found near a bridge along a popular walking trail. The community haunted ever since.
We had a couple of years when people were afraid to come to the area.
Investigators say Allen managed to elude authorities for 5 years. The husband and father arrested in 2022 after authorities say they linked a shell casing found at the crime scene to a pistol he owned. But so far, they've been tight-lipped about why they believe that shot was fired. One big clue, a man's voice captured on Libby's cell phone the day she was fatally stabbed. The prosecution now expected to present to the jury accounts of more than 60 confessions they say Allen made in prison. The defense claiming he's innocent, saying Allen did not make those confessions voluntarily, and arguing suspect sketches released shortly after the murders looked nothing like Allen. The defense team also arguing in pretrial hearings, investigators overlooked a single strand of hair found in one of the victim's hands that did not belong to Allen. At one point, defense attorneys even arguing evidence at the scene indicated the murders could have been a ritualistic cult sacrifice. But the judge dismissed that theory last month and will not allow it to be heard in the case.
This is a case where the defense doesn't have a lot of options, so they've got to try anything.
Both sides now under a gag order, with jurors, 8 women and 4 men, bussed in from another county to weigh a case that's captivated this community for nearly a decade.
All right, I'm going to leave it there, but I wanted to show you that, yeah, 60 plus times, quite a bit of evidence found in his house. All I can say is I'm not going to be following this every single day. It's not my thing. But even though I have followed Libby and Abby's case since it happened, I like Moonshadow talks about, there's a lot of people that have inserted themselves into the case, not directly, but online. And they walk around like they wear some sort of invisible badge that says, I am the world's expert on the Delphi murders. And that, if you don't come to my channel and listen to it, then you're obviously not getting the same information that everyone else has. I mean, I try and stay away from cases that are like that, but at the same time, it is a big case. I do want to see a good result, and I want it to go away. I want to stop with the stupid theories and the odinous things and, oh my god, it's a rune on the tree. It looks like the symbol F or whatever. I'll give you a symbol F if you don't shut up, and stuff like that. But what I want is justice. I just want a result. I want her families to be able to say, this is the man who killed our daughters, and I want them to be able to rest in peace and someone to be responsible for it. That's it. That's all I want, and hopefully we'll get that. Hopefully for a good trial. That's what I'm hoping for. Hopefully that his defense team doesn't try to pull any more crazy stuff. Although it's been I don't think, to be fair, I think both sides have had a lot of mistakes, including the prosecution. I think that would be remiss not to mention the stupid things they've done too. They've had some really poor decision making. They've had some very egotistical gatekeeping on the case, and some people might say it's possible this case may have been solved earlier if their stupid gatekeeping didn't stretch on for 5 years. That's what I've heard. Gayla says, I don't like the judge. Yeah, we can't always, get the best judges in the world. All we can hope for is that they follow the law. Hey, Shasta, how are you? He's such a creepy man. There's a photo of him sitting with a shirt. Where is it? Oh, I wonder if I can show it to you. It always gets me. Not that one. But it's a nice photo of the two girls. That one. Where is it? It's him sitting with like a green shirt on. Here, let me see if I can find it. I always see this photo of him, and I always like he always looks drugged up, like for real. I don't know if I can find it, but he's sort of sitting there in this gray shirt. Oh, here it is. You can't see it all, but this shirt, the one on the far right here, there's some sort of stain on the shirt too, and it's almost like he's been sucking on his shirt, and I'm like, why is his shirt dirty? I just sit there the whole time going, why is his shirt dirty? Why is his shirt not clean? That's the only thing I ever think about when I see that image, and it's one of those intrusive thoughts the whole time, just like, why has he got a dirty shirt on? Did someone put fingerprint ink on him? Is like, what is going on? Some journalists have been banned from court already. I know they put a gag order in place and restrictions have been put on like who can come in. I didn't hear about journalists being banned. Let's have a look. Journalist camera. Oh, I heard it. Yeah. So a journalist camera was confiscated outside of court. Yeah. What does it say? It says, despite allowing participation in some sort of pilot program, someone got their camera taken off them. Yeah. A special judge, Francis Gull, during a media orientation session on Thursday, had clearly stated no photographs or video of jurors would be permitted. On Friday, Gannett photographer Alex Martin recounted the moment when two vans approached the fenced-off area on the west side of the courthouse. He described placing one camera on his hip and another on the ground. Despite his precautions, officers confiscated his equipment. I wasn't taking pictures of jurors, Martin said, adding that he was positioned in an approved area. He also noted that 4 or 5 other photographers had their cameras seized as well. The fate of the confiscated cameras, including both still and video devices, remains uncertain, according to Martin. They say Judge Gell has imposed stringent media restrictions on the case, which is regarded as one of Indiana's most high-profile murder trials. Despite her participation in a pilot program allowing cameras in the state courtrooms, Gell has banned them from Allen's trial entirely. In a June ruling, she expressed her concerns over media conduct, stating that the court lost confidence in the ability of the media to cover the hearings appropriately after rules were violated during an earlier hearing in October 2023. So here you go. Some photographers had their cameras pinched, and they got basically told to give up their video cameras. Notepads taken as well. They're not playing. They're not playing. That is very strict. I think sometimes the balance between public inquiry and protecting certain foundational rights of the jury, the prosecution, and the defense sometimes gets like massively outweighed in the other direction, and then like the media and the public don't find out what they should, or are inconvenienced exceptionally due to these rules. We saw something similar in the Lori Vallow trial. Same with her supposed new husband. We had to get recordings and pay for them. So after court every day, you had to be on a certain list. You had to email the court. You had to pay your money. And then every day at a certain time, they would email you a link and you would get the audio of the day. It was ridiculous. Like, Could have just had a live stream up where everyone could have watched. Could have had a live stream just pointed in one direction, not one direction Liam Payne, just a different direction, away from the jury, pointed on, like, I don't know, the judge or something, where that's all you could see. You could have even had like a barrier up on one side of the camera. So even if it went that direction, you wouldn't be able to see anything. Those kind of things are easy to put in place and keep the court open for everyone. That's my opinion anyway. But hey, I'm live on YouTube. What do I know? Okay, that's the hell was that? Hold on, guys. I was like, I think we have a ghost in here. Swear to God, I have a ghost. I was sitting here and there's a door just there and it moved. And I was like, where are the cats? And there's a cat here sleeping at my feet. There's a cat on the couch over in that room. I can see him. There's only 2 cats and it's just me here. There's no one else here right now. And the door just closed. That's very freaky. That is very freaky. Mrs. Ping thinks that there is a ghost here. She's been saying for a while that she thinks the place is haunted. Angela says, exactly, East Idaho News offered the judge use of a camera, but she said nah. Or he said nah. Yeah, he said, yeah, nah. Cat's vibration, maybe. Neighbors, maybe. They're in my house? Could be. Small earthquake. Yes, we got to look for the critical other side of it. Anything but ghosts. All right. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the case we spoke about yesterday. Actually, 2 cases, but I'll be very quick. The case of Dustin up in Gallatin County. I heard tomorrow morning there's going to be an update. So tomorrow for tomorrow night's show, we should have some more information on what happened. They haven't put out an update since the 17th. Now, I will show you. So this is Gallatin County Sheriff's Office. If you did not watch the show yesterday, we spoke about this young man. He was camping in a remote region up near Big Sky, Montana. And during the night before he was supposed to meet a friend, someone attacked him in his tent brutally with, I've heard 2 descriptions. Someone said like blunt force trauma, and another person said a chopping weapon of some sort of chopping weapon. I thought like an axe. But when he didn't meet up to meet his friend went looking for him. When he located the campsite, he thought a bear had attacked him, but apparently not. But I heard tomorrow morning on the 21st, there's supposed to be another update because they haven't released anything since Friday. And the community out there is extremely worried, like extremely. The comments, people are going bonkers about it. What? Hold on. The friend that found him? No. Oh yeah, I've heard some. That's interesting that you mentioned that. I told Mrs. Ping was listening to when I was telling the story yesterday, and as soon as I hopped off the air, she asked for a few more details, so I told her. And the first thing she said was, "Did anyone ask the friend if they did it?" And I was like, "Wait, really?" And I said, "Why would you call 911 then?" And she's like, "I don't know, to make it look more realistic." And I was like, maybe, but she's like, I hope that was the first person they interviewed. And I was like, well, yeah. Yes, never found Austin King. There was a last-minute rescue mission planned, but unfortunately, Yellowstone National Park management team denied the plan. So it was a private search party with a private helicopter. Because of bad weather coming in, they were unable to reassure the Yellowstone management that the pilot had enough experience flying around mountain areas to be able to approve the rescue mission, rescue recovery mission, whatever you want to use. That they denied it on 3 grounds. Not enough information about the pilot or the helicopter, not enough rescue stuff. So say they took the helicopter up and were flying around and the helicopter crashed. Yellowstone right now doesn't have any of their helicopters. They've been put away for the winter or sent away for the winter. So they don't have any assets to help should this private search party get into trouble. They don't have anything. Apparently it's all been shut down for the winter. So they denied it on that ground, and then they denied it on like bad weather is coming, and it's going to start freezing. So they thought it was just too much of a risk to allow a private search party to go out. So unfortunately, it really does sound like that it might not be until next summer when they might find Austin. That's the information that I've heard recently in the last 24 hours, that because this particular rescue mission was denied, that their next break in the weather could be April or March next year. It's a very sad outcome. Shasta says, so sad for the parents, I can't imagine. Yeah, I can show you a little bit of that very briefly before we move on to the other story. Where is it? Yep, here. So, Blowful family of missing Yellowstone hikers helicopter mission refused for being too risky. A volunteer coordinator was given a hard no by the U.S. Forest Service on the planned mission. Sorry, it was not Yellowstone, it was U.S. Forest. I guess they're the controlling party there. Yeah, they said here that apparently the volunteer team drew up a detailed rescue mission that involved taking experienced climbers to Eagle Peak to help locate 22-year-old Austin King. But it has emerged that they were given a hard no by the U.S. Forest Service just before 10 p.m. on Monday night last week. They said it was only hours before the voluntary climbers were set to fly out on 8 a.m. on Tuesday morning to get to the mountain. They're saying King's father, Brian, has been trying to organize a final rescue mission to find his son, who has not been heard from in a month, before wintry conditions set in on the mountain. They say Josh Lamb, one of the coordinators of the volunteer searchers, said it was made clear to him that it was deemed too risky to head out, especially since the search had transitioned to a recovery and not a rescue mission. I think if they had proof of life, they would allow them to go to try and save that life. But I think the national park is pretty sure that he's dead, unfortunately. I mean, they haven't seen any fires. There's been no reported break-ins. No one has spotted him. There's been no sightings of him. You know, the things you would see if someone was out there and looking for shelter or food, that type of thing. Yeah, so here, Yellowstone National Park tried to assist, but Superintendent Cam Sholey told the outlet they hadn't received enough information regarding the planned helicopter flight, such as its capacity to fly in high mountainous terrain, as well as the pilot's previous mountain flying experience. Yeah, and they said here, where is it? Hmm. Yeah, this is a little bit interesting, actually. One of the searchers said they had intended to head to the southwest region of the mountain, the less commonly searched Table Mountain, as cell phone pings had buzzed signal points in the area, suggesting the 22-year-old may have been headed towards Yellowstone Lake. If that's true, Yellowstone Lake is where he was supposed to be picked up. So, why did they think he was out there? Except for the cell phone. That's a little odd. Yeah, let me try and show you. So the peak is here. They were gonna search down here. Table Mountain. Very interesting since they think he was up here. But in his note, when he made it to the peak of Eagle Peak, do you remember what he said in that note? He said, I came up the mountain the wrong way. The right way is up through here, up through the pass in this region, and then you summit the mountain up here. He was camping down here. How on earth did he get from here over here all the way to the Mount Tabletop here? Unless he went up here onto the peak and then tried to come down this way. Or fell this way. And then somehow made it down here. And then the river is over here, the lake. This is the lake where he was supposed to be picked up from Terrence Point. So that is very interesting that they wanted to search this area, not up here. They wanted to search Table Mountain down here. I wonder why. And if he did ping from that location, how did he get there? Because the normally run track is through the back here. You sort of do a loop under here and go up. Why would he be down here? Is there a second path that's not on the map that you can go through this region? Hell of a climb because you got like 2 other mountains. You've got Eagle Peak, Table Mountain, Coulter Peak, Mount Humphreys, and Mount Schultz or Schutz, and Turret Mountain down here. So you got a whole bunch of different mountains crammed right together. It's a bit of a hike, and then they said they thought he was trying to head back to the lake where he was supposed to be picked up. And you can see the terrain now that I've zoomed out. Maybe he just maybe he lost his phone and he was following the sun or something like that. Yes, they do. They have updrafts that come up the mountain and create their own kind of like turbulence. Has anyone ever been there before? What do you mean? Like us or anyone in the world? You have to define your anyone. Hey, Nanalana. Nanalana says, I wish Austin had not climbed by himself. Me too. Hey, Diane, how are you? Hey, April. Good to see you. You know, I miss my friend, Karen Canada. I hope they're doing okay. Karen Canada, if you're out there, leave a message. Say hi. I also miss my friend Candy Williams. I hope Candy's doing okay. Great supporter of this channel for a long time and haven't seen her in a while. Hope she's doing good as well. You are not an outdoorsy person? Me either, my friend. Me either. Cheated No More? I haven't seen Cheated No More in a while either. Hope they're doing okay. Hope they're doing okay. Maybe I pissed off a ton of people. Maybe. Or just everyone got busy. Who knows? I don't know. I have not heard anything from Reby. Sent her an email after surgery. Didn't hear anything back. I'm sure she will get back to me when she's feeling better. I'm sure she's fine. Also, by the way, for the people who don't like Twitter, Let's have a look. For the people who don't like Twitter, I have made a Facebook page. I hate Facebook, but everyone keeps telling me I need to be on Facebook. So you can like the page, come and hang out. I post a lot of stories on here and probably a lot of updates when I'm not online or not live on the air will be done on here and on the Twitter, both under the same name, Nights with Ping. And yeah, I could do that. Where is it? It's up here. This is Reeby's chat email. So you can email her and send her some well wishes and get in touch with her. Tell her that you're thinking about her. Yeah, so we have Facebook now. So this will probably have a lot of the press conferences and things like that on it. Hey Emily, how are you? Yeah, I know. Oh, damn it, I was supposed to tell you guys this. Starting in November, I hate doing this to you guys. Starting in November, there'll be no late show anymore until 2025. And the reason for that is due to just costs and crap going up, I'm having to pick up some shifts to cover, just bills and stuff. And it means I have to work in the afternoon. So I won't be here in the afternoons anymore to give you guys a late show. I'll be here to do the morning show and then I'm got to go to work. So it's just life and the way things are. So at least for the next couple of months, yeah, there'll still be a 9 p.m. show. It just means there'll be no midnight show anymore. Just with everything, the way everything's gone in the last couple of months, it's just I have to. I don't really have a choice. So there you go. April says I'm the opposite. I don't like Facebook. I prefer Twitter and refuse to call it X. I don't call it X either. But yeah, I like Twitter too. But people kept asking me, they're like, "Hey, do you have the Facebook? Do you have Facebook?" I'm like, I hate Facebook, but I just made one so other people could find it. Hey, FFS, how are you? Good to see you. Yeah, it's just the costs rising right now. Like the costs are insane. It's for everyone though. It's not just you guys. Like not just me. It's for everyone. Like electricity's gone up. The freaking like I signed a new lease for this property. It went up. Like just Eric Rego, just everything. Everything's gone bonkers in the last 12 months. I think everyone's feeling the pressure right now. So just how it is. It's just a fact of life. But we still get to do one show a day. So it's not too bad. There'll be no more late shows from November. So no more extra late show, like a midnight slot. So during Monday to Thursday and sometimes Friday, we do 2 shows every night. But from November, it'll be just the 9 p.m. show. There'll be no second midnight show anymore. Hold on, guys. Yeah, so I hate to do it to you guys, but the costs are mental right now. Like they're just crazy. And we've got a wedding coming up in December and we're traveling and stuff. It's gone mental. Like the costs for the wedding alone, it's not even our wedding. It's a family member's wedding, right? To board the cats, buy the flights, get to the wedding, do everything we need to buy, like buy clothes and stuff for the wedding. It's over $2,000. It's mental. It's not even our wedding. We have to give a gift too. It's a temporary thing. It'll just be until probably like early in 2025. I'm hoping everything will start to slow down a little bit. All the channel will get a little bit more popular, and we'll be able to go back to having 2 shows every day again. Angela says, "I'm waiting to get registered as my mom's caregiver." Oh, that's a good idea. I hope that's interesting. Oh, it's nice that you care for your mom. Can you not get someone to stay in your home with your cats? Well, the place we're taking them to is like a cat hotel. It's like around the corner. It's like a street away from here, and they get their own little rooms and like it's really cute. They get their own little like hidey holes and stuff. They will love it. Or Muffin will hate it, but Rory will love it. Well, I hope you do get your application. That'd be really good. That'd be really nice of you to take care of your parents. I think it's the highest calling you can do, right? Is to take care of your parents after they took care of you for so long. I think it's very noble, and one of the nicest things you can do in life is to care for a parent. Rachel says, "I understand prices are crazy right now. I paid $60 for more than a ton of heating." Yeah, it's bonkers. Denny says, "Why don't we have commercials? Because they're not worth it. I can turn them on, but all I do is piss people off, and I make $5 a month off turning them on. And it's a lot. It's annoying. Every day I have to go in, have to turn them on. Like you can't turn them on before. I have to turn them on after. I have to rate the video. Does it have this or that in it? And then I get like an email, and it says, "Oh, we think that you talk about damaging stuff to YouTube. So we're not going to give you any advertising, but we will run advertising on your channel." So then I go, "Okay, let me appeal that." And I normally win them, but it takes 2 to 3 days for them to appeal it. And in that time, I've missed the peak of people watching the live show. So I miss out on all that and just get the little bit at the end because they don't give it, they don't backtrack it. You sort of just get it when they approve it. So I just turned it off. It's not worth it. Right now, it's not worth it. I'll do it when it's worth it. Angela says, "My son cat sits as a woman's cats don't like being away from home." Yeah, it's an interesting option. We just don't trust anyone enough. Over 2 grand. Yeah, I know. We've had a few of those in the last couple of months. I tell you, that's a lot for tires. Yeah, I filled up Mrs. Ping's car the other day. I put like $40 in it, and it wasn't even a full tank, and it's this tiny little 4-cylinder. And normally we could put like $30 in it, and it gives us like 2 weeks of fuel. $40 didn't even get it close to full. And I was like, what the hell? Yeah, YouTube, it's a merry-go-round. I think the hardest thing is when you first start a channel, everyone's very excited. So a lot of people want to help you and stuff like that. It's very easy to get uh, complacent and think, oh, that's always going to be like that, right? And then when your channel's been around for a while, we've been here for over a year and a bit now, people get bored and they don't want to watch anymore, or they don't want to contribute, or they don't want to help, or all those type of things because you're no longer new and interesting. And I think we're going through a bit of that slump right now, unfortunately, but we'll get there. I ain't going anywhere. Just have to change a few things. Danny says, "I had a friend who decided at last minute to board a dog. The house burned to the ground while that what? I hope they had insurance or something. Did the dog survive?" I hope the dog survived. Yeah, that's a weird US thing, how they put the tax after you buy something. It's a bit weird. We just buy something and it has tax in it. 2,200. That's like my rent for the month. That's a lot of money. What do you got? You got a Tesla or something, or a European car or a truck? I know they all cost a lot of money for tires. Anyway, it wasn't a bitch session, and I wasn't coming here to like guilt anyone. I just wanted to let you know why it wouldn't be there in November. I don't know how we got on this for so long. It was supposed to be like a 2-minute conversation while we talk about the next story. It's not supposed to be a long talk. All right. Let's go to Nebraska. Hey, we've had a few out of Nebraska and Montana lately. Very weird. I don't normally do a ton of stories out of that region. Yeah. It says a registered sex offender caught crossing state lines with a minor. They say law enforcement from several agencies in western South Dakota and Wyoming were able to find a 13-year-old girl Sunday morning they believe was abducted by a registered sex offender. According to the Meade County Sheriff's Office, the girl was noted missing around 7:30 a.m. from rural Meade County. Just hours later, the suspect, who is law enforcement, wait, no, he's not law enforcement. The suspect, who law enforcement believe abducted her, was caught by law enforcement in Wyoming and found to have the young girl. His name is Sean Carlos Payne. He's 22, of Omaha, Nebraska, and was quickly identified as a suspect through electronic communications. Payne, a registered sex offender, was wanted in Nebraska for third-degree terroristic threat, assault by strangulation, probation violation for enticing a minor, and third-degree assault causing bodily harm. Officials say Payne will remain in custody in Wyoming as multiple charges are likely, as well as additional charges due to having active warrants in Nebraska. Saving a young girl from a wanted predator is a win for us today, according to the Meade County Sheriff. When a child goes missing and the evidence is clear they have been abducted, we will do everything to find that child and bring them home safely. Is that all we know? Yeah. Let me look up this guy, Sean Carlos Payne of Omaha, Nebraska. Let's see if we can get a local paper. That's the sheriff. We'll talk about that. Let's go to KOTA.
This evening. More on those stories coming up in a minute, but first, a 13-year-old kidnapping victim was found safely across state borders this morning. At around 7:30 this morning, the Meade County Sheriff's Office was alerted of a missing 13-year-old girl. Officials were able to determine that 22-year-old Sean Carlos Payne of Omaha, Nebraska, was the alleged abductor. Payne is a registered sex offender wanted in Nebraska for multiple charges, including a probation violation for enticing a minor. At around noon, Wyoming Highway Patrol was able to locate the suspect and take him into custody. Meade County Sheriff Pat West said in a statement, quote, "Quick thinking by the 911 dispatchers who sent messages to all surrounding states with possible vehicle descriptions was the key to finding this kid. We have some of the best on our team," end quote. Payne will remain in custody in Wyoming as law enforcement continues to investigate the incident. Thanks, Ryan. Veterans Day is just 22 days away, and each Sunday leading up to the holiday, Dakota Territory will feature a local veteran. Our Hannah Hutter met with.
That is definitely what we want. Veterans Day. Actually, I like Veterans Day. Very interesting story about that. Let me show you what the sheriff wrote. If I can grab that. All right, come on. All right, there we go. No, wait. Registered sex offender. Yes, that's what we want. Here we go. So Meade County Sheriff's Office. Hey, what are you doing, you weirdo? There we go. They say the Meade County Sheriff Pat West says outstanding cooperation between law enforcement agencies in 2 states aided in the apprehension of a Nebraska sex offender accused of abducting a Meade County teen. The sheriff's office says on the 20th of October at approximately 7:30 a.m. in the morning, the Meade County Sheriff's Office was alerted to a missing 13-year-old female from a rural area. It was quickly determined that the juvenile was likely abducted from the area by a subject from Omaha, Nebraska. And they were able to find him. That's Sean Carlos Payne, 22 of Omaha. How do you get to 22 and you're already on a registered sex offender website, court thing, whatever? What have you done in your short adult life that you've already ended up on this type of thing? You must be a very sick person. And the fact that you're still going after little girls, 13, is far too young. And that is horrific for that little girl. Even though she probably thinks she's a big girl at 13, she is not. She is a child. And it says here, he's wanted in Nebraska for probation violation, original charge enticing a minor, third-degree assault, terroristic threat. The hell is that? Assault by strangulation or suffocation. Great. He likes to strangle little girls. Fantastic. And DV assault, third degree cause bodily harm. So not only is he attracted to minors and seems to drive across state lines to get them, he also does some sort of assault with terroristic threat and assault by strangulation or suffocation. So closing an airway of a person. And he has DV assault, third degree cause bodily harm. Sounds like a great guy. What a great man. And apparently he has a penchant for little girls. For what year in high school would that be? Freshman? Like first year in high school? Is like 13, 14, right? Hey, let me let me do that. It wasn't letting me highlight it. Let me check here. I want to see if we can find a photo of this guy. Show us this guy. Why are you showing me the 2023 UCLA men's soccer information guide? I don't think he goes to UCLA. Let's see. Let's go to Yahoo. No photo of him so far. Interesting. Normally when arrested and charged and on a sex offender register, you can find their photo. So that is interesting. Actually, yeah. Let's look here. Omaha? Let's look up. Omaha should have a register, right? Let's have a look. Nebraska Sex Offender Registry. Search by name. Yes, I will. What's his name again? Give me 1 second. I'm going to search his name. Hold on. All right. Sean Carlos Payne. Hey, they're racist against Australians, apparently. So racist. Can't even access their website. Not allowed to access. Hey, let me in. I don't know what's going on with this. This is becoming more and more popular. These geo-blocking of government websites, especially in the US. I'm going to have to start running a VPN. Otherwise, we're never going to get any information. All right. I can't get his sex offender thing, but it is probably on this website. I'll post it in the chat. They do have a register under this website. Throw away and lock them up and throw away the key. Yep. I did. Haven't had time to read them all, but I did. Yeah, if someone could send me a screenshot, search his name, Sean. What's his name? Sean Carlos Payne. He should be on that register. He should definitely be on there. Since he is a registered person out of the state. 22 already has that many charges against him, including having to register on the offender registry. It tells you a lot. if these are only the outstanding charges that we're able to see here, the probation violation, enticing a minor, third degree, blah, blah, all those, they are outstanding charges. What has he actually been convicted of? What are the charges that he actually got done with? Let's see, is he in any other paper? Hold on. When was this posted? October 18th. Sorry, I don't know why that came up with him. Sorry, I searched his name and it came up with a website for indigenous or First Nation people in Nebraska. But I don't know why. I'm trying to see if either of them pop up on this page or not. Neither of them pop up on the page. I'm not sure. It is very weird. Yeah, I'm not sure why he popped up on that Facebook page. So yeah, that's all I can find on him. Let's see, AOL. Let's go to Hometown Register. Never heard of it, but we can have a look. 3 hours ago, 13-year-old Meade County girl rescued after being kidnapped. That is awful. They saying shortly before noon Sunday, just before an Amber Alert was sent out for the missing girl, the Wyoming Highway Patrol located the suspect in Rawlins, Wyoming, and was able to take him into custody after a pursuit, rescuing the girl. Far out. The amount of resources that came to bear on this case in a short amount of time is once again a testament to working cooperation between agencies across the state. Saving a young girl from a wanted predator is a win for us today. It is a win. This is interesting too. According to the sheriff, they said quick thinking by 911 dispatchers was the key to finding this kid. We have some of the best on our team. I have to hear that story. Why were the 911 dispatchers so instrumental in finding them? They say Payne will remain in jail in Wyoming while law enforcement continues to investigate the case that involves several jurisdictions. He will likely face charges in Wyoming and South Dakota, as well as the original warrants from Nebraska. So you've got Wyoming, South Dakota, and Nebraska all looking for this guy, plus a girl he abducted, and they found her too, but he's got charges out of every tri-state area. Brutal. He's not on there? Where was his charges out of? They were out of Nebraska, right? Am I smoking crack? I could be. What did they say? Yeah. As well as the original warrants from Nebraska, what county did he have to register for a registered sex offender from Omaha, Nebraska? The only thing I can think of is that he wasn't originally charged in Nebraska and that he moved to the area after his charges and notified them, but he's from a different state, either Wyoming or South Dakota. And that's like he moves around the tri-state area. Maybe he lives on the border region between all three states or something. Let's have a look. Wyoming, South Dakota. My geography is a little off, but there's probably a place where you can get, yeah, okay, there sort of is. So what have you got? Yes. So there is a tri-state area. It's down here. I thought there was, because I followed storms across this region before. So there you go. There's Nebraska. No, there's Nebraska's here. Ping. Wyoming there, and up here South Dakota. You got a triple point here. You could move around all these different states just by driving in a circle right here. I don't know what you do over here, but you could. 3 corners. That's why they call it 3 corners, because you can get to 3 different state lines right here. There's probably like a little thing here. Oh, there is. There's a little stone thing here that you can go visit, and it says like, if you stand on this line right here, you're in Nebraska. And if you stand on here, you're in South Dakota. And if you stand on this one, you're in Wyoming. You all seen those things before? Yeah. So there is a triple point, like a tri-state thing here. So yeah, he could, I don't know where he's from, but you could easily drive through all these different states and then have charges in each different one. If you were a criminal, that's what you should do, right? Wait, we don't give criminal advice, but maybe he's pretty smart, because all you'd have to do is drive across here and they would have probably no clue about your record. And all you'd have to do is drive up here and live here, and they'd have no clue about your record. You'd have to keep moving. But there's not too many highways. What's this one here? Can I have a number, please? No number. It's a random highway. Has no name. It's a highway to nowhere. It doesn't go anywhere. Where does it go, Ping? No idea. I don't know. Doesn't have a name. The road with no name. Follows the border. Goes down Wyoming. What is it called? This one's called Indian Creek Road. This one, no idea. Has a nice river though, right there. Does it have a name? Nope. Maybe it really is the road with no name. Look at this. We've gone hundreds of miles and it won't tell us. And this one's, maybe it's just called Indian Creek Road and it just goes around in a loop. Could do. Because that's all called Indian Creek Road. But this particular one that sort of goes around doesn't have a name. No idea. No idea. But yeah, you can get between the three counties pretty easily. That's it. It's weird. I don't know why he's not showing up, because it literally says he is registered. Is there a reason you wouldn't show up on a registry? Is there any reason that would happen? Let's have a look. Registered, why? Victorian police. I don't want to know about that. That's my area. Nebraska. Let's go to their registry website, if they'll let me. If they'll let me. If not, we might have to cache it. What are the rules for sex offenders in Nebraska? A sex offender shall keep the registration current. Well, thanks for that. Yeah, they're racist against Australians. A sex offender shall keep the registration current for the full registration period, but shall not be subject to verification procedures during any time the sex offender is in custody or under an inpatient civil commitment, unless the sex offender is allowed a reduction in his or her registration period under some subsection of Nebraska legislature. Who are required to register may request a reduction in the... Here, Berry Law. Individuals involved in sex crimes. Let's have a look. In Nebraska. So all these different crimes, we all know what these mean. All crimes previously listed will require you to register as a sex offender regardless if it is a felony or a misdemeanor. You may also be required to register as a sex offender if your criminal episode involves assault to any degree, manslaughter, murder, or stalking. Juveniles are not required to be registered if they were charged in a juvenile court. Why would they call him a registered sex offender if he was a juvenile and he doesn't have to register? I don't think he would, right? I don't think he was a juvenile at the time. Why would they remove you from it though? Yeah, interesting. You should be able to look him up and see, they say here, the information will be released to the public when you register includes name, physical description, addresses, school, vehicle, photograph, duration of registration, and offenses. So that's interesting. Aw, Rachel says, I looked it up, I don't see him, no idea why he wouldn't show up. We have a guy a few miles away on the registry for peeing in public 20 years ago. That's not very fair. Unless he was doing it in a lewd and lascivious way. That's not really fair. If he was just a drunk dude who got his wiener out to pee in the alley and someone was like, oh my God, a guy with a wiener. And everyone's like, oh my God, it's a sex crime. I mean, that's not cool. The law is meant to be used to protect juveniles and other members of the public, but not for that type of thing. You know how many girls I've seen go and pee behind bushes when we're out drinking? A million. And you don't ever see them get done with these type of charges. I guess no one's ever looking. That's the other thing. Tharvi says, I'll go to bed in about an hour. Have a good sleep, Tharvi. Now, they're saying it's up to 15 years in Nebraska. You can get it reduced to 10 or smaller if you're good for the first portion of your registration period and you abide by all the laws and you don't have any new crimes come up. You can actually get it reduced. I bet you. I bet you needed a nap after your granddaughter left. Angela says people pee outside all the time. Yeah, people pee outside all. What kind of channel do you think this is? Do you think we just sit around talking about people peeing outside? Is that what you think of this channel? Is it only fans or only pee? Is it only pee? That's what we've turned into. That's the debauchery this channel has succumbed to. I will not stand by and let that happen. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. I should have had a coffee before we came on, even though I don't drink coffee. All right, let's see. What else do we have? All right, let's go to California. We like California. I like California. Let's go to California. The Riverside Police Department. They say detectives arrested man after discovering murder victim buried in the backyard. Riverside, California on Tuesday, October 15, 2024 at around 7:45 p.m. Riverside police officers responded to a home in the 8700 block of Sylvan Drive in the Arlanza neighborhood following reports that a resident had not been seen or heard from for several days. During their initial investigation, officers learned that one of the occupants had made statements claiming he killed his roommate. That occupant was detained, and a search of the property revealed a possible crime scene in the backyard. Ugh. Due to the suspicious circumstances, detectives from our robbery homicide unit, along with specialists from the forensic unit, responded to assist with the investigation. Riverside Sheriff's cadaver canines also aided in the search. The cadaver dogs alerted to freshly disturbed soil in the backyard. As detectives began digging in the area, they found human remains. The Riverside Sheriff Coroner's Office responded to complete the recovery from the makeshift grave, identifying the victim as 31-year-old Bradley Minder of Riverside. Detectives arrested 48-year-old Richard Thomas Martinez of Riverside and later booked him into the Robert Priestley Detention Center for murder. He is currently being held without bail. Their preliminary investigation revealed the victim and suspect are roommates. During an altercation, the suspect killed Mr. Minder and then buried his body in the backyard of their home. The investigation is still ongoing and there are no other details to release at this time. And yeah, they said anyone with information should contact them and let them know what they've seen or heard about these two people. Let's look him up. What's his name? Richard Thomas Martinez of Riverside. Let's go to NBC LA and see what they have. NBC LA or KTLA? Hold on. We'll go to the Los Angeles Times. Sorry. If they'll let us. So they're saying a Riverside man arrested after the body of his roommate was found buried in a makeshift grave in a backyard. How long was he there in the makeshift grave for? They say detectives subsequently arrested and booked his roommate, a 48-year-old called Richard Thomas Martinez, on suspicion of murder. Detectives said they believe the two men had an altercation that resulted in Martinez killing his roommate. Police did not release additional details to what sparked the altercation between the two men or how he was murdered. That is horrible. Imagine that crime scene and this guy living there with a body in his backyard, just buried. They're like, "Hey, where's your roommate?" He's like, "Oh, he left. Oh, he left. He just disappeared." What do you mean he disappeared? Oh, he's very with Mother Earth right now. He's one with Mother Earth. What do you mean by that? He's a hippie? Yes, he's a hippie. This might be on Netflix at some point. I reckon we're gonna see this one on a Netflix. Like, I lived with my roommate and he killed me. Like, those shows that come from the murder victim's perspective, and they're like, "How I caught my murderer," and you go, "Wait, what do you mean you caught your murderer? You died. How did you catch your murderer if you're dead? Did you come back and haunt them? Like, did you come back and haunt the police chief? Like, how does that work?" Netflix and chill. I think if you said that to a girl now, she might just be like, "You're so far out of all the cool words and phrases that I can't sleep with you. I'm sorry. You don't have the lingo down. You don't have any of the cool phrases. You're so 2010. You don't have any of the I don't even know what they call it now. Hold on, guys." Unless you're Diddy, unless you're a fan of baby oil. 1,000 bottles of baby oil are going to be at your nearest FBI disposal auction in the near future. If you want a great deal on a pallet of baby oil, you keep your eye out on those federal auction websites. You might just get lucky and you yourself can have your own freak off. You can have your own OnlyFans freak off page. You can call it, "I use Diddy's oil to get some," and you'll be the richest OnlyFans person in the world. As long as you don't abuse anyone, you'll make a lot of money. All right, that's that story. That's a very strange story. We're gonna find out more about him later on. That's all we have, unfortunately. All right, I want to head to Houston. We're gonna head to Houston.
A 5-year-old 5-year-old landed in the hospital after accidentally shooting himself with his stepdad's gun, according to the Harris County Sheriff's Office. And Fox 26's Abigail Dye is learning that stepfather was out on bond for illegally having a gun. She's joining us now live with more information on who this suspect really is. Abigail.
That's right, Caroline. And that is a charge that HCSO says this suspect is going to be facing a third time now. Of course, on top of some other charges, it is a misdemeanor here in the state of Texas if a child gains access to your gun and hurts or even kills someone. And of course, in this scenario, this 5-year-old is lucky to be alive.
It was here on the 8400 block of Parasol that deputies found that 5-year-old girl. While she's in the hospital, her stepdad is in jail, and it's not his first time.
So the suspect has a lengthy criminal history. He's got 6 prior felony convictions, been to prison for felon in possession of a weapon.
Sheriff Ed Gonzalez tweeted out saying Jason Wynn was arrested that night for felon in possession of a gun, a charge he went to prison for back in 2014. And just 2 months ago, he caught that same charge again and posted bond.
While he was out on bond for felon in possession of a weapon is when this 5-year-old stepdaughter allegedly found a weapon and shot herself.
Correct. And obviously that's a violation of your bond. You're not supposed to have any weapon because he's already been convicted of felon in possession of a weapon. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens now as to what they're going to be able to charge him with criminally. Obviously, you have yet another felon in possession of a weapon, but there's also more serious offenses such as injury to a child and maybe even some aggravated assault. Based on his rap sheet, his criminal history, nothing is going to keep this guy from reoffending. Nothing is going to stop him from having access to firearms, and nothing is going to stop that unless you actually send him to prison for a long time.
And according to the Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez, this 5-year-old is expected to survive. So that's some good news here. We don't see any charges on the docket for Wynn in this case at this point. But of course, we'll keep tabs on it and keep you updated. Reporting live in downtown, Abigail Dye, Fox 26 News.
How very sad for the little kid. I mean, you never want to hear that. A 5-year-old being shot. Some people are just very irresponsible, apparently. What happened? A helicopter crashes into Houston radio tower. Oh no. Well, I don't know how much of your radio tower is left. The hell happened? Let's have a look. We've got to see this. What the hell? A helicopter crashed into a radio tower in Houston. Hold on, let me mute this because it's annoying. Yeah, let me mute it off and let me find out more about this. Helicopter. There we go. 21 minutes ago from KHOU. Let me take you over there to a video that was shot earlier, 10 minutes ago.
10 starts now.
Good evening, I'm Cheryl Mercedes. We begin with breaking news tonight after a helicopter crashed in East downtown Houston. This happened in just the last 2 hours. The Houston Fire Department says the helicopter hit a radio tower. The scene is just off Engelke Street. That's near Navigation Boulevard between the East Tex Freeway and North York Street. We have live team coverage for you tonight, beginning with Troy Klass, who is near the scene. Troy, what have you learned since you've been there?
Well, Cheryl, we learned that the tower went down into an empty area, and we are here where there's a large response from the Houston Fire Department. Now, the crash happened about 125 feet down this street here, down Ennis Street. So we can't see exactly the scene, but many people saw the actual crash as it's happening. We're about to share that video with you, but we want to warn you that it might be distressing to watch. So if you take a look here, you can see that what appears to be a helicopter going down in a ball of fire, and then you see an explosion as the helicopter hits the ground, and then right after, in an instant, you can see the tower come right down after it and just crumbling down. So this is what we know right now, is we are still waiting to learn about the extent of any injuries to any people. We're told that the FAA is en route to investigate this crash as well. So what we do know right now is that the damage, there was no other buildings that were impacted as a result of this helicopter crash. We're told that the tower fell into an empty area, which is behind this large warehouse and some other buildings and homes that are in the area. So, that is what we know right now. We are.
That is scary. I saw some of the photos out on KHOU. I'll show you. It's very lucky it fell into an area that wasn't like populated with people or someone's home, that type of thing.
Start.
Let me pause that. They say the helicopter crashed into a radio tower near Houston's East End Sunday night. They're saying the FAA will investigate media staging behind the Stellar Bank at Navigation and Ennis. Wow, it's a hell of a fire. I wonder who the pilots were. I hope they weren't
New
for
Metro
like,
is offering free ride.
hey, I hope they went for like a radio, a news station or something like that. At this time, HFD has no reports of any fatalities or injuries. Specifics of the helicopter itself and where it was headed are unknown. A witness told KHOU News he was with some people at a restaurant nearby when they heard the crash. He said it sounded like fireworks or gunshots at first. He said they tried to run and help, and when they got closer to the scene, he saw the flames and big chunks of metal nearby homes. He originally thought it was a crane that had been hit. HFD said the Federal Aviation Administration will investigate the crash. KHOU 11 News are at the scene in a developing story. Apparently, they are going to put on a press conference in a minute. Hold on. I got to see if I can find it. Where are we? We're over here. They're still showing it live on their front page. Hopefully they'll go to the press conference shortly, and we'll see what they have to say. Or they've already done it, maybe. That's the greatest noise in the world, isn't it? A lot of firefighters or something heading back, so we'll have to see. Let me keep it on that page for a second, and if we looks like they're about to head up, right, and do a press conference. I don't know. There's police chiefs walking somewhere. I don't know if they finished their media staging or they're going to do a media staging. We'll see. Hopefully we catch it live. I don't know. The camera guy is taken off. Oh my god, it's a red truck. Oh no, here we go. Let's see what they have to say about the helicopter. Oh no, they're going? Alright, see ya. Maybe no helicopter news for you. They might have finished their media staging. We'll have to get, we'll have to see what happens. Oh, there's a dude with a hat. You know it's serious when there's a guy with a hat.
Good afternoon. At 7:54 this afternoon, Station 17, Houston Fire, heard a loud explosion. Immediately 911 was lighting up, and obviously large explosion, fireball out of the air, and Houston's first responders went into action. The residents are secure and safe, but we have a terrible accident scene. Multiple fatalities, tower, helicopter destroyed. Helicopter apparently left Ellington, not certain its destination, and I'm going to be very cautious in my description of facts and details. But what I want to emphasize is the area is secure, multiple agencies. Again, great collaboration between the federal government and all HPD, Houston Fire, all of our emergency responders are doing their job tonight. So let me just emphasize that the scene is secure, multiple fatalities. Apparently there's a child, and it's a horrible thing to witness. But we need to let Houstonians know that the first responders, Houston Fire, literally a block away where the first responders knew they had a tragic scene on their hands. And now the DPS, the federal government, Houston Fire and Police are doing their jobs. And I will yield at this time to the fire chief and thank him and his rank and file for their quick response to secure the area. There is some outage of power to residents near the scene. We are fortunate that it wasn't worse in terms of there's a butane tank, gas tank near the crash scene. So we're concerned. We need to keep the family of the victims in our prayers and be glad we live in a great city that comes together during tragic times like this. Chief Diaz, would you please describe your job in the rank and file?
Hello, Chief Munoz, Houston Fire Department. As the mayor mentioned, there was a helicopter accident today involving one of the towers. Station 17 was on scene within minutes with our first responders. At the current time, we do have FAA, NTSB, along with DPS, Houston Fire Department, Police Department, doing part of the investigation. As the mayor mentioned, great collaboration. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Chief Diaz with the Houston Police. The mayor and the fire chief have already stated this is a tragic event tonight. Tragic loss of life. It's an accident. We know it's a helicopter. We believe now, and we know that fire and PD responded quickly to the event. I will let the community know that when daylight comes, if you do see components of the aircraft and whatnot, make sure that you don't touch it. Call 911, let us know where it is if you see it in the community, because it'll be a large investigation because of the expanse of the accident. So make sure that if you actually see something on the ground, that you notify either fire or the police department so that we can make sure and come out and recover it. And my prayers are with the family of the people in the helicopter, and I want to thank DPS, NTSB, everybody that's here helping us tonight. And we're ready to take any questions. Thomas, any questions? We'll do that. We'll do that after this. Any questions?
You said multiple fatalities, including a child?
That's what's been reported. Yes, sir. Multiple fatalities, including a child. We don't know the age ranges yet, but that we are pretty sure.
Helicopter?
That is correct. Yes.
Was it a personal helicopter or a work helicopter?
It is going to be a private aircraft. Right.
Too early to say. Can you estimate how many people were on board?
We're going to estimate right now. What we know is facts. We're not estimating that there were 4 people in the helicopter. It was an R-44 helicopter.
How low was it flying when it crashed?
I won't estimate on that.
I'm hearing reports that there was another R-44 in the general vicinity at the time of the crash. Do we have any information about that?
We do not at this time. the preliminary information that we're getting, it came out of Ellington Field, and it either struck a cable or actually struck the tower.
Was there anyone on the ground at the site of the tower at the time that this crash happened?
As far as we know at the moment, there was no one on the ground.
Chief, we know that this is a developing situation, that there's a lot of information that needs to be gone through. Will updates be provided through the course of the night here on scene?
There will be, yes, sir.
So they're saying right now that there's at least a couple of fatalities, including a child. Pretty terrible here. I'll get you back to it.
Just want to make that sure clear.
Can you estimate?
So just by night, we've been seeing everything. We got a significant amount. We're looking at a good 2 to 3 blocks, but it was a big area of land. Luckily, there was no residence, but it was near residence. But it's pretty sick from what I saw and what we see. But the preliminary investigations do show, a good 100 to 200 yards, maybe more, of just the grass, which was ignited by the fuel and the flames. So.
Chief, is there any threat to the community with the fumes and any gas release?
Not right now. We've been getting those monitors, and no, ma'am. Everything's been extinguished.
You had one person saying he found remains. Is that something people might see in the morning?
If we do see that, we do have as I mentioned, our investigators, NTSB. We're currently working on getting some more support systems. But if you do see that, please leave the area alone and report it to us. There'll be a lot of presence out here, police presence. Identify that area so we could do that.
How difficult do you believe this investigation will be? Just given there's a lot of wreckage out there, how hard is this going to be?
I mean, it's hard to say, but like I said, we do have.
We'll add, if I may, that we have not made notification to anyone. So please, in your reporting, until we make those notifications to the families that we report, vaguely, please.
We know if the pilot filed a flight plan before he took off.
That'll be a question for the FAA. So they're working through those processes.
We've got a lot of resources from a lot of different places operating a unified command here.
Station 17, one of our major stations for Houston Fire, to secure the area, make sure considerations about electricity, gas, and other provisions were taken care of. So, as I said, I assure the public that the first responders, the professional first responders, have the scene secure, the residents are safe, and this will be an ongoing investigation for the next several days. I would mention to you, the tower looked like to me, as a layman, that it imploded down. So I don't know what the professionals will say, but it was a fairly specific site. And we are concerned about remains to be done respectfully, to also protect the public. And it is surrounded by residences, and that's where we were very fortunate that it didn't topple in one direction or another, and the fireball pretty much was isolated. But I can't begin to tell you the scientific investigation that's going on. The drones are in the air, 3D photos of the site, so everything that.
It depends on how they're flying. So they can fly under, I think, like visual flight rules, which means they're using their eyes to locate what's around them. I'm not sure if you still have to communicate with the tower or not, but a lot of them fly under like VFR. And then another question said, don't these towers have lights on them? Normally anything over a certain stories high in an area around where inside a flight path has to have those little red lights that blink on them like that. We have them around here because we live near an airport. So everything that's over like 2 stories high around here has the little red lights on it. I would suspect a radio tower being so tall, it definitely would.
Crash that occurs outside the city limit. This would occur inside the city limit, so we're able to assist with the investigation. Once again, the bodies have not been identified as of yet, so we have not made death notification as of yet. But we keep our thoughts and prayers for the family. It is a pretty hard scene to look at, and I wish the family the best that they make plans to move to move these folks to a final place of rest.
We're in a very proud Hispanic community. I'm going to ask Chief Vinos to come translate for us so all Houstonians, certainly these neighbors, are fully aware of the circumstances and the work that's being done. Chief Vinos.
Gracias. Como estaba diciendo, ahora como a las 7:54 de la noche, hubo un accidente con un helicóptero que le un tower, como se dice, una antena de radio, del radio. Y ahorita la investigación dice que tienen casi cuatro personas que fallecieron. Ahorita estamos investigando con todas las agencias federales, también para agarrar la información que uno necesita por esta investigación. Ahorita le quiero pasar al jefe Díaz también en la oportunidad que diga de parte del Departamento de Policía.
Buenas noches. ¿Preguntas? Dígame. Hoy como a las 7:54 tuvimos un reporte de un helicóptero que le pegó a una antena de radio aquí en la cuadra 300 de la N Street, que está cerquita de la Navigation. Durante el accidente fallecieron 4 personas. En una quemazón le pegaron a la antena trágicamente. Y estamos aquí investigando. Los bomberos de la estación 17 respondieron en segundos porque oyeron la explosión y llegaron ahí, apagaron la lumbre. El área todavía está activa. Miembros de la FAA están haciendo la investigación.
So I'm going to pause it there, at least the audio, and talk to you. Yeah, it sounds like 4 people, 4 people, potentially died. Family, they're saying, at least 1 child. And they're saying, like, if you see any parts of the helicopter in your backyard or in your property, don't touch it. Call the 911 or the local station, and they'll come out and pick it up, because they're not sure if they've got everything, because, it hits something, goes kapoosh like that. It explodes outwards. So they're not sure if they've received everything yet. And they said they won't know till daylight. In the dark, it's very difficult to find everything. But they said if you find anything, don't touch it. Make sure you call them. Pretty awful. To get tangled up in a radio tower. I mean, these things are there for decades and decades, and you rarely hear of anyone hitting them. I don't think I've ever heard of a helicopter hitting a radio tower. It's like one of the things they look out for, these red lights that blink. If you're a pilot or a helicopter pilot, it's one of the things they first teach you, like, look for those bloody lights everywhere. I don't know. I didn't hear that. I just heard, like, it crashed and there was an explosion. Danny says, yeah, it's weird. Yeah, I agree. It's strange because, like, they normally look for these things. I can tell you that I live near an airport. Anything that's above 2 or 3 stories here has those lights. Even apartment buildings here have the lights on it. Because actually, we're driving past the other night, a new apartment block, and I was like, hey, have those lights always been there? And Mrs. Ping goes, oh, no, I think that's new. And there were these flashing lights on top of the building, and we're like, they must be for pilots, because it's so close to like a small airport here.
Any other questions? Raise any questions? No? Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming out and reporting the facts.
Sounds like that press conference has now wrapped up. I'll try find like a written update so I can read everything for you. Hold on. Let's go to Fox 26. I had to change from Fox 26 to KHOU. The Fox 26 stream kept jumping, and I was like, oh, that's really annoying for everyone watching. Let's see. They say the Houston Fire Department says a helicopter hit a radio tower shortly before 8 p.m. and then crashed in EADO or EDO, if there's a short name of saying it. They say video from the scene of the crash shows a fiery wreckage in the area of, is it Engelk Street and North Ennis Street? Police and fire crews were seen trying to keep bystanders away from the wreckage. Houston fire crews were using drones to observe the area. And they said, yeah, let's see if we can find you some of the earlier footage of when it was on fire. You can see them heading out there in torches into the crash site there. Heading out. I'm not sure what they're looking for. There's part of the tower on the right side there. That definitely looks like part of a fallen tower. And does that look like a rotor blade? That's like to the right of that yellow little guy. Definitely looks like maybe a rotor blade from a helicopter. It's a huge response out there. Huge response. All right, let me show you some video from earlier.
Fire truck, I need to get out the way. I need to get out the way. Let's go. Let's go. Please, thank you. There's a propane tank here. Y'all need to clear. Y'all need to clear. There's a propane tank nearby. Let's go. Let's go.
There you go. That was a video filmed earlier. You can see all like the fire, just everything on the ground on fire. Kathy says they say exploded. I think they said it exploded when it hit it, but I can't imagine a helicopter explodes before it hits something. But I don't know if I can. Hold on, I'll see if I can find it. Here, hold on, Houston. Let me see if I can find one of the original videos. I don't know if anyone got it when it actually hit the tower. I know that there was people like the video I first showed you was after the aftermath.
This is fucking.
Oh, hey, language in this video, sorry.
Nah, this is fucking insane. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Outside the fence. Let's go. Nah, this is fucking insane. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Outside the fence. Let's go. Nah, this is fucking insane.
Bro. Fucking helicopter crash, y'all. Bro.
See, I'm going to pause it because of the swearing, but you can see the aftermath in these photos. Like that helicopter fuel just scattered all over the ground, probably. That's what's burning off there. The fire was quite a distance. That's why you saw all those scorched areas later on. Yeah, here, I'll take you back to the other coverage from this is from KHOU 11. I normally put their little thing up too, just so people know the source of the video. It's, that's what they do when they use footage. They put the little thing up saying that's where they got it from. Hold on, guys. Watch the video for a sec. I'll be back.
Welcome.
All right, there we go. It looks like the live stream ended for now anyway. Let me head back into the main page. Oh no, it's still going. I don't know why they killed that one link, but we'll see. They just killed the one we were watching. Let's check Fox 26. See if they got an update. Pretty brutal. Feel sorry for the families. They're gonna find out very shortly that it was their loved ones inside that helicopter. That's not what you want. Let me just check here. I'm not seeing anything really else. Nothing that I'd want to show you anyway. Huh, that's interesting. I don't know what it got caught in. Check this out. It looks like it got caught in maybe the line further up and got tangled. Look at this. And you can see the top of it coming down after right there. Maybe hit it and lost its rotor blade and just went straight down.
Oh.
That's it there. Someone caught it on their camera. That's a lot of fire. You see everything just like shatters and turns to ember. Yeah, wire maybe? It definitely looks like it gets entangled in something. Could be a guy wire. But there you go. Yeah, it looks like I think we're playing that right now, Rachel. It definitely looks like something like that. You can sort of see it. Hold on, let me slow this down. Let's go to half speed. Let's go back to the beginning. Because there's, yeah, the top of the tower up there. And then it comes crashing down. You can see the top of it. And then there's a fireball when it hits the bottom there. It's very sad that this was a few people's lives and at least one child. Terrible. You know. You have to wonder what the FAA is going to say. The fact that if someone was flying around at night in Houston, I don't believe there's any bad weather in Houston right now either. What they're going to say about that. Yeah. Yeah, that is definitely what it looks like. But I think that's the end. I think they said they might bring out another press conference, but live coverage just stopped even on KHOU. They're not doing any live stream anymore. That's it. Although there is a story out of Houston, 17-year-old girl shot to death in North Harris County apartment parking lot. This happened in the parking lot of an apartment complex on Hafer Road, south of FM 1690 around midnight on Saturday. Yeah, midnight Sunday, early Sunday morning. They say it happened in the parking lot of an apartment complex on Hafer Road. And the sheriff's office said there were multiple witnesses.
We began with a
They say the sheriff's office said there's multiple witnesses to the incident and that they were working to confirm some information before releasing details on the suspected shooter. HTSO said the victim, Lauren Galloway, had got into some kind of fight with a man before he shot her multiple times, killing her. They said if anyone has information about what happened, you're asked to contact the sheriff's office at 713-274-9100 or Crime Stoppers at 713-222-8477. And this was an update they gave on it. 17-year-old girl shot dead in North Harris County.
Sergeant Jason Brown, Harris County Sheriff's Office, Homicide Division. This evening at approximately a.m., Harris County Sheriff's Office units were dispatched to 17217 Hafer in reference to a shooting. Upon their arrival, they found a 17-year-old female who'd been shot multiple times in the parking lot. As of right now, we have several witnesses who are out here during the time of the shooting. We're interviewing them, and we're attempting to put together an idea of exactly what happened at the time. At this time, we're not comfortable releasing anything as far as suspect information, but we do have information that we're working on. So we're trying to confirm some things and make sure that all of our information is correct. At that time, we'll be releasing some suspect information. We're not sure about that. Obviously, there's some type of altercation out here. We know that there were multiple people out here, but that's one of the things that we're trying to confirm. We're trying to figure out exactly what led up to this. And once we do that, we may be a little bit better situation as far as our suspect's motive and, what took place.
Thank you very much.
There we go. 17-year-old girl killed in North Harris County. Yeah, they might. I reckon by morning we're probably going to see what happened with the helicopter a bit more clearly. That'll probably come out in the next few hours. Hey, Juicy Jules, how are you? Good to see you. I think that's it for the night. I think that's it. I'm going to wind up, get you guys out of here, and let me go be angry about the 49ers. And I'll be back tomorrow, 9 p.m. And then, like I said, at the end of the month, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. About 10 days away, 10 days to 2 weeks away. Start of next month, there'll be no more late shows during the week. It'll just be the 9 o'clock show going forward. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Join that Facebook page if you want. If you want more updates while I'm not on the air, you can join the Facebook page here. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. I really appreciate it. Thank you to all the people who watched tonight. It's very kind of you. And I'll see you later. I'll see you at 9 p.m. tomorrow night for our normal weekday show. Yeah, I was mad too, trust me. Yeah, we're ending the late show from November. Yep. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Bye. See you later.